Hello everyone, welcome to Yasha Digital. My name is Yasha, and I would like you to say hello to my little friend, Robo. Robo is powered by an algorithm that moves his legs to follow his body as he moves around the map. So really, it's the eyeball that's being given directions to float to different parts of the map, and the legs automatically follow the eyeball and kind of clamp on to whatever is around Robo on the ground. This allows him to walk on all kinds of different surfaces. I designed him to be a kind of a sentry that patrols the virtual studio, and would like to make him more intelligent over time so that he can walk around and observe for changes, or perhaps talk to him through a microphone and he'll be able to react and either walk to where you tell him to, or talk about what he's seeing or what he's thinking, what he's feeling. There's a lot of fun stuff that could be done with this technology. I also really like the idea of having a virtual studio like this, a kind of a neutral space where I can try out different ideas, test concepts before unleashing them into the world of the video game itself. And of course it works as a virtual gallery eventually. And there's all this talk right now of the metaverse idea. One of the most amazing things about this technology, the Unreal Engine and all this power that it gives us, is that any one of us can create a metaverse of our own. So why not? So the great thing about making any kind of progress with this stuff is that you can immediately start to experiment with it and get results. The first thing I wanted to try was an AI kickball match. Of course, these AIs are totally dumb. They have no idea what they're doing. They're just walking around randomly, and if a ball is in their way, it gets kicked. But even that can be a lot of fun to watch. The rules of the game are pretty simple. Whichever player has all of their balls knocked off the map first, loses. Ladies and gentlemen, we have here some very tough-looking and ferocious competitors. You can absolutely see the intensity in their eyes. And other times, they look just completely clueless and lost. Oh, it's looking like Woodward just kicked the ball, and it's going towards the goalpost, and goal! Oh, ooh, 2, even Steven once again, and look, there's a ball right there, but he just passed it by completely unaware of what's going on. Oh, okay. So what's gonna happen here? We're still even Steven. Oh! Someone kicked something in. Okay. Woodward is just down to one ball. Let's see what happens here. Something magical is just about to happen. I can feel it. Okay, and we have Robo heading towards Woodward's ball, and he kicked the ball and goal! Ladies and gentlemen, that's match point. Goes to Robo. I hope nobody lost any money on Woodward. The next experiment I thought of was creating a whole community of these AI creatures and seeing what happens when they are let loose and unleashed. Immediately, we see that there are clusters of AIs forming throughout the map. It kind of looks like they are communicating with each other, but of course bear in mind that they're really just literally walking around the map at random. But there is something special happening here, isn't there? Look at that cluster in the middle. It's almost beginning to look like they've chosen themselves a leader. Look at this guy in the middle. I'm not sure he wants to lead. I think he wants a little bit of space, and off he goes. This demonstration reminds me of a quote by the late Isaac Asimov from his book, I, Robot. Why is it that when some robots are left in darkness, they will seek out the light? Why is it that when robots are stored in an empty space, they will group together rather than stand alone? How do we explain this behavior? Random segments of code, or is it something more? When does a perceptual schematic become consciousness? When does a difference engine become the search for truth? And when does a personality simulation become the bitter moat of a soul? Let's also take a look at the characters from past episodes that I'm working on to integrate into a game in Unreal Engine. You may remember Lantern from my previous episodes. I am currently working on outfitting him with powerful energies needed to complete his task. And here is Leu, suspended in a stasis field until I'm ready to animate him. In case you missed the making of videos for both of these characters, I've included the links in the description. The next step will be combining these two models into one and then animating it so that it can become a character controller for the video game. So we've got these creatures here, and everything is seemingly hunky-dory. But no party is complete without a surprise guest. Luckily, we've got just the one. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm welcome to Tortellini. tortellini is an ancient celestial tardigrade, a creature as old and wise as time itself. Tardigrades are real creatures that exist all over the earth and even in outer space. You might have eaten one by accident. They are able to survive extreme environments that would destroy most life. This one has survived for a very long time. Why is she named Tortellini, you may ask? Well, having peeked beyond the veils of time and space, she found that the word tortellini to be the most beautiful sound in all of creation. I happen to agree. And here we have a peek at the belly of the beast. Majestic, isn't she? I've switched to the Unreal Engine, where this is currently being rendered, in early April, and I found it to be an absolute revelation in terms of what a single game developer can do. I really do think it's going to give a wide range of people the ability to create creatures and objects of indescribable beauty. Of course, a creature as wise and ancient as Tortellini can change size. Here, she became smaller so that she could come on board my virtual studio and observe Robo as he does a breakdance routine on top of a dancing table. This was a completely unintended result, just when I was experimenting with putting Robo on top of an object that moves, so the algorithm that controls his leg kind of starts freaking out a little bit here, and I love these kinds of little surprise, unintended side effects. So here we see how the model was put together in Blender. On the top left here we see the actual model, which is called a mesh. And on the top right, we see that there's actually a skeleton inside of this model that has all these bones that are put together and then connected to the mesh. So now if you move these bones, you move the limbs of the model. And we see these little blue bones on the bottom here, which actually control the direction of each limb on the model. The little yellow dots on the bottom half of the screen represent the directions of each of those blue bones as it moves through time. So as Blender is moving these bones around, the model appears to be gliding along in a silky smooth fashion. Something very magical is happening as a result of this game development process. I built this studio to make working on the game easier, but it's become a game in itself to build out the studio. So now we have the game, and we have the game behind the game. I sincerely hope that you're enjoying watching this content as much as I am creating it. If you would like to support my work further, please just share this video with any friends or acquaintances who you think might enjoy this type of content. Of course, leaving a like and subscribing and clicking the notification button is helpful as well. Thank you all so much for watching, and see you soon.